Hey everybody, welcome to the Shrimp City Report. My name's Devin, and I'm joined today with.
DJ, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Nice show today, right? Something in the wheelhouse of our family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're getting a little bit of art in today.
So today we have Elise Hurley from Rawlings Middle School, the Visual Arts Department, and they are having a big fundraiser we're going to talk about. So, how you doing today, Elise?
I'm doing well. Just finished a great day with students.
Right on. I was interested to learn that Rawlings Middle School is straight up School of the Arts, right?
It is. It's the School of the Arts for DD2, and we
Uh,
serve middle school students.
so I presume besides, the visual arts that we'll talk about today, there are other performing arts.
We got theater, we have dance, we have piano, vocal, strings, and
Mhm.
band.
Yeah, DJ went to the Charleston County School of the Arts, so
Yeah,
he was familiar with that. I guess we are as well, because my wife's an artist and I've done music and production my
yeah,
whole life.
a,
So,
a lot of
yeah.
dabbling in the visual arts. So we love supporting any way we can.
Yeah, and that's why I was actually at an event the other day and Victor Jimenez spoke about the fundraiser. So we looked it up. So that's how we got together today. So tell me about the visual arts fundraiser. Is that something you all do every year?
I think I try to do it every other year. It's a lot
Hmm.
to ask people to, constantly be reaching out to friends and family because it really is. It's community based. We serve an amazing group of students, but our budget is 0. And so without the community, like I can do recycled art projects, but most things in
Uh-huh.
art are consumable once you paint it on that canvas. Usually you want to keep that painting and not just recode it. So donations allow us to offer these students a curriculum and materials that will help them really grow. And because we're serving that gifted population, most of them are working at a very advanced technical skill set. We're doing more high school projects with them. So we're doing a lot of kind of more advanced things, printmaking, or we do digital drawing. So trying to prepare them for careers if they are interested in the visual arts, but also just kind of those life skill sets in general. So Naomi, one of our 7th graders, she told me the other day, she's Rawlings as a visual arts student, it's an outlet to experiment, but also to express. So they're learning their visual speech
Hmm.
because art is a language.
Yeah.
And I think Rawlings gives us a really unique setting because we have that community of artists, and that's not something you have at every school. So that community brings a nice environment. So Azaria, one of our new 6th graders, I was asking her, how our year was going. We're a couple months in now, and she said the biggest thing that stood out for her was the environment and kind of the vibe. Her words were, "It's pretty nice around here," and like I do sense that. That's why I love working with the students at Rawlings. I think the one drawback is that we have to fundraise in order
Sure.
to have a program, but I definitely see the students putting those funds to good use and exploring their craft. And even when they leave Rawlings, getting to see what they're doing beyond the walls of the school.
Hey everyone, we really want to encourage you to visit the refinery in Charleston, South Carolina. The refinery is a beautiful mixed use facility that's home to upscale office space, 2 restaurants, the Limbo Lounge, and an amphitheater that hosts national, regional, and local acts year round. We cannot recommend it enough. Go to therefinerychs.com to get event and venue information. You can also go to the site to learn how you can even book the spaces you want for your own event. So go check them out, and thanks.
So tell us a little about fundraising event. What will y'all be doing for the event?
So we're working with a program called Vertical Rates, and they provide a safe and secure online platform. And so you just click the link, and then you can make a donation. It can be even a small donation. Everything adds up. You could go as big as $500 and sponsor it if you have a corporation, and then they'll put your logo on the website. So everyone who logs in to see the fundraiser, then you're advertising your business. So you're supporting us, and then we're supporting you with that logo. So it provides basically easy and safe way to make a donation towards the students. And then that money will get spent on curriculum supplies. And then sometimes we're also able to bring in like a guest artist or do a field trip so they can get those more real life experiences.
Okay, that's cool. I had some notes on that. about field trips. You all or try to get the kids into workshops, or you have workshops actually at the school sometimes with visiting
Yeah, so
students?
in some of the past examples, and I just quick note, as art has so many different disciplines, and I only have
Yeah.
3 brief years with these kids, so I try to expose them to everything. So we had a professional sculptor come in, and these middle school students did realistic head busts. They were really impressive. And then the next year, I thought we need to take a break from some of this, so the really heavy technical, and we had a balloon artist come in, and so she did balloon modeling with
That's
them.
cool.
And if you're familiar with art, Jeff Koons kind of brought more
Mhm.
attention to that. And since then, being a balloon modeler is you can make a pretty good living off of that. We got a lot of local artists doing that now. So they got to make their own balloon dogs, and then some of them went on to buy their own kits and explore more sculptures with that. And then we do try to get out into the community. So Public Works Art Center offers a great place to go see local artists.
Mhm.
And some of them will come into, and Paige Nelson was an artist who came from Public Works who does murals. She's moved now into doing 3D paper mache sculptures, but spoke with the students not just about her process, but the business side of art, which is something I think most artists don't really want to mess with. How do you price your
Right.
artwork? Getting it out there. The balloon artist talked a lot about the social media platforms, and that's one I chose to teach art because I don't like the business side. I don't like the financial. I want to be able to make it and give it away, or enjoy the steps of getting to see other artists bring their work to life. But yeah, so those are some of the previous artists we've brought in.
That's good. I think it's great to get exposed. And to the balloon facet, there are just hundreds and hundreds of types of artistic expression. So that's good to, probably, I guess a lot of folks that are going through, I don't know what DJ's experience was, but it was like a lot of heavy sketching at first, right, DJ? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Putting in the paces with sketching, but also experimenting with like 3D arts and different things like that. Yeah.
yeah, so,
Yeah,
so
we
that's,
definitely teach those tools because I think those have to be taught. And even if you
mhm,
decide later on to become a cartoon artist, like they're giving you those foundations. So as artists, you need those rules so you know how to break them successfully later on. So we do a lot of that. But I think again, middle school, we got to remember that these kids, we want to make them to love it and never let go of it for the rest of their life. So
right.
exposing all those facets, and you never know what you're going to grab and run with. So I think much later in my visual arts career, I discovered stained glass, and I really love
Uh-huh.
that. Before my
Yeah.
art black and white with charcoal. So trying to get them to dabble in everything so they can find what works for them.
What's your story, Elise? Where'd you go to art school? And where are you from?
So my story is a little different than most. I actually grew up in Pakistan. And
Really?
so there were a lot as a female or, in arts there. And then when we returned to the States, it was a very college prep high school. So every year I asked for art in my curriculum. And they said next year, AP Chem, AP English. So I got to college and I said, I'm paying for this. My parents support the arts, but they were afraid for me that that couldn't be a profession. So I majored in English, but every time I had a free class available, I filled it with art. So I kind of accidentally ended up majoring in English and art. And then when I applied for a PhD program in English, I kept falling asleep and I couldn't get through writing these applications. I thought, you know what, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. So then I ended up going back to school and I got an MAT in Masters of Arts in Teaching, and I love it. So I'm constantly learning with the students, every unit. I'm growing, they're growing, and it's just so much fun to have that. I have a community of artists and get to see their ideas come to life, and the different styles that are out there, and just get to see their own visual expression.
That really is a cool thing about art in general and teaching it. So, a calculus equation is probably not going to change for 600 years. It's going to be the same thing you learn every year, right? But art, I mean, it's just so transformative and dynamic that it's really amazing. I'm sure that no student is the same as another student, or nobody's motivation or anything like that. So
Mhm.
it's pretty neat, I guess, to see that blossoming that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And also very fulfilling. Do you see that the motivation with the kids is good and they really appreciate the experience of being at an all arts school like that?
They definitely do. And I think occasionally any artist will find we reach that artist block, or they have art, they have an hour of art every day. And for middle school, after a while it can add up. So I think we all reach that kind of slump or that artist block, but because they're surrounded by peers who are equally gifted and equally motivated, I think then they get pulled, lifted back up. So if they're struggling, they can turn to their neighbor and be like, I don't have any ideas. And they're like, well, I didn't use this thumbnail. How about this one? And then, they'll go with it and run it and make it their. So they definitely they value what they receive and they come excited. And I have lots of students who, like, sixth grade is doing a hand drawing project right now, and they're required one hand with an object. And I had one kid say, well, can I do two hands? Can I do three hands? I'm like, well, it's hard. You'll have to invest some outside time. They're like, that's okay. I'll take it on this weekend. And then one student finished early, so I offered her some art competition. She said, I'd really like to just do a second version of this project. So just that, you don't get that eager joy, I feel like, at some of the other places I've taught out. So
Yeah.
So do y'all ever have shows within the school?
we do. So May 12th is our visual art show at Rawlings. It'll be in the Performing Arts Center. It's open to the community, so come check it out. It's usually in the evenings around 6:30. I don't have a definite time on that, but it'll be May 12th in the Performing Arts Center. And then we also usually team up with Big B, a coffee shop on Old Trolley Road, and we usually have an art show there in December. And the community gets to actually come out and they can vote for their top favorite three for our Big B Arts Cafe. So it's a way the Performing Arts Center allows us to show a lot more work. But as an artist, you want to get your work out in the community. That's part of making. So Big B allows us to have that community exhibition where kids get to, linger by their piece and hear comments from the public. That was my favorite part of having work in a show. Just, even not, people didn't know you were the artist, just getting to hear, their thoughts on this piece that you had worked on.
Okay, cool. So Big B, that's December. So that's something we can all look forward to. And then May 12th, the big show. We'll definitely keep in touch and get these on at least our website calendars and whatnot. So how long does the fundraiser go? When does it end?
So our fundraiser is going to end October 1st. So we kicked off in September and runs about 21 days. So we've got 1 week left. So we're doing well, but I would love to see us end strong. We're a little bit shy of our goals right now. If we can do well this year, then we get to focus more on curriculum not next year and not try to do, invest the time into fundraising.
But we'll definitely get the word out because we are kindred folks on this. And, we know a few people. DJ, you got anything saved you want to ask or feature?
No, it sounds like an exciting time. I can't wait. And of course, we'll be supporting you all the way.
All right, well, thank you. I'm curious, DJ, what was your kind of area of focus at the School of the Arts?
So I was a visual artist and did a lot of drawing and stuff. I really found I really was more drawn into digital and 3D arts. I did a lot of found installation pieces. My senior thesis was a cardboard installation, which I can send you some images of later if you like. But I also did a lot of digital work, and that's actually kind of what I ended up just dipping into is UI UX design. So,
and I feel like that's definitely where arts are headed. So kids exposed to those.
His thesis was actually with Young Arts at the Miami Museum of Art. So
it was,
he showed there when he was a little boy. A high schooler.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it has been a pleasure. We will make sure we get all the links out there, and hopefully we can catch up with you down the road. Maybe for the December show, we can do a little pop in.
Yeah. And sometimes, because they're a business, we can't plan it out too far in advance. Usually it's about a month in advance we'll know. So it'll be usually December, January.
That's fine. Just keep in touch.
Okay.
I'm happy to help.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It was nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah, it was a pleasure. We'll see everybody down the road. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.